Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video we'll be talking about some of the hype behind BlizzCon and potential announcements that could be happening in BlizzCon based on some of the leaks that have been coming out. I have no idea why all this stuff is a flood right now, just days before BlizzCon, but the hype is definitely real, and at this point you gotta really ask yourself, is it just fans of these games that are releasing these fake leaks just to build up a little bit of a hype and troll everybody? Or is it at this point just somebody at Blizzard intentionally releasing this stuff just to get the hype going? A lot of us were wondering what is going to be happening this BlizzCon. Most of us thought maybe they're going to do something with Diablo, because last year Diablo Immortal was quite a big blunder and a disappointment for many. World of Warcraft is expecting a new expansion, but past that, I don't think there was anything else to be expected. So in this video, we'll talk about some of the popular stuff that's been making the rounds for future announcements at this upcoming BlizzCon. What is anticipated to be announced? We'll talk about all those potential leaks, but again, all of these potential leaks are, well, the credibility is always questionable. You don't really know if this is going to be real or not, so let's just play a little bit of a game of make-believe. Just ask yourself, would you be excited if this was a real announcement of BlizzCon? And be like, yes or no, and you can explain in the comments below why. Anyway, let's get into some of these updates. Well, we'll start with the newest leak that's been making the rounds, and after type in just the word leak, you get Overwatch 2 leaks all over my feed for YouTube, and even WoW had covered it in an article. Apparently, ESPN reported from some of the inside sources at Blizzard that, yeah, Overwatch 2 is going to be coming out. Some of the things they want to do, apparently, with the leak here with Overwatch 2 is really try to break into the PvE aspect of Overwatch. From time to time, Overwatch has these PvE events where instead of fighting one another in a player versus player environment, you're actually fighting against AI of different caliber. Think of World of Warcraft like in a dungeon. Sometimes you'll have some enemies that are a big boss that everybody has to find mechanics around and try to see if they can defeat. Then you'll have little ads that come out. Some of them are melee, some of them are ranged, some of them are big, some of them are small, and they have different strategies for you to employ. With a variety of different heroes in Overwatch, you can actually have a tank, healer, double DPS combo if you wanted to. So that's what a lot of people are reporting when it comes to Overwatch 2, is a lot more focus on the PvE aspect of it. Of course, you have questions about how would Overwatch 2 work with side by side with Overwatch, I guess, 1, just so we can delineate between them. Overwatch 1 has everybody's accounts. You have all the skins, you have all the unlocks, you have all that data, all those collectibles. Would those transfer in on Overwatch 2? Would Overwatch 2 simply replace Overwatch 1, kind of like how Fortnite had the whole Season 2 thing for it? How would those games work together? Would they be separate? Would they be the same thing? Would they be one for PvE, one for PvP? The logistics and the questions actually get me kind of excited, and this is a pretty big announcement for everybody who's been playing Overwatch. Instead of having a brand new hero or a brand new game mode or maybe a balancing, just a revamp of the game, what would that mean? It could be a lot of good things, it could be bad things, but either way, it's kind of a big announcement when you think about it. It brings a lot of questions, but those questions I'm pretty sure are going to be answered once BlizzCon arrives, if this is a real deal. Of course, when it comes to leaks, we have to talk about World of Warcraft. With Battle for Azeroth wrapping up very, very soon, we anticipate the announcement of a future expansion will most likely happen this BlizzCon. There's even a spreadsheet that somebody has been putting together documenting every single quote-unquote leak that will be going out for World of Warcraft, and apparently there seems to be about 67 separate leaks for the future World of Warcraft, either patch or an expansion, and I mean, it's just, there's so many of them, 67 different leaks that talk about a variety of different things. Some of them cover new class potentially, some of them cover world revamp, level squish, and other features. All this combined together with the screen grab of Lich King, Bolvar himself, looking kind of badass. No matter what you say about it, that is a really, really cool render of the character, whether it's real or fake. And if you guys, again, want to see the full video, I'll have it down in the description below. I covered it already, but it should also be stated that the excitement about Lich King potentially coming back in a future expansion got a lot of people excited. This is something that a lot of people that play WoW would love to see out of the next expansion. with how successful they did Legion with Illidan coming back. He was one of the favorites from BC to bring back Lich King from Wrath of the Lich King with so many fond memories of how good Wrath was. If they can attack that nostalgia a little bit, kind of like how they did with Illidan and nostalgia of BC, and make a whole new expansion in a very similar quality and shape and polish that Legion had, with a great storyline. And it also is a post expansion with Battle for Azeroth having mixed reviews for a lot of people. With Battle for Azeroth being mixed, you can only go up from there, which could by default make this next expansion far better and far more favorable and far more enjoyable, as long as it's better than its predecessor. So it got a really good setup, really good start, and a lot of people are excited for a new World of Warcraft expansion. Then we also have an anticipated Diablo 4 announcement at BlizzCon, originally leaked through a German magazine that was promoting a Diablo art book. It talked a bit about Diablo artworks, up to 500 of them, and a little bit of story about the characters and, I guess, the development process. I covered this very, very lightly because we had no idea if this was fake, if this was real, but a potential Diablo 4 was definitely exciting for a lot of people after the big blunder they had considering Diablo with last BlizzCon, so they really had to come back swinging with something impressive. And now apparently there's also an image floating around of a character from the Diablo universe. I'm not familiar with Diablo universe super well, but Lilith is the character. There's even a paragraph when it comes to Lilith's page that almost confirms that yes, Diablo 4 is definitely going to be released and has to be announced sometime soon. This BlizzCon would be the perfect time. The quote reads in the actual page: Lilith's debut in Diablo 4 is a reimagining of her form that is far different from her previous appearance. See page 236. This is kind of cool. Like, it's very, very exciting to see Diablo maybe getting some sort of a revamp, which is much needed. The game is just super old as dirt, but it still is super fun in a very simplistic way. Outside of that, Blizzard, I mean, they just need to take a look at Path of Exile. Path of Exile has been around for a while. A lot of people love it, those that play it. And if Path of Exile can come up with some new creative ideas to keep that game really exciting with every new season, I think Blizzard would be able to easily find some fun new spin to create for Diablo 4. And this is everything we have so far to be excited about. Some of the things that I didn't talk about in this video, but potentially could be on the table, we just haven't heard a lot about it in terms of leaks or images or anything floating around. Maybe a Diablo 2 rework, potentially more Blizzard classic titles announcements, not classic World of Warcraft, but just any of the older games that might be making their way back to the Blizzard launcher for everyone to enjoy. And potentially Blizzard diving into the ideas of what their thoughts are about WoW Classic, the success, and a potential future for other World of Warcraft expansions like BC and maybe even Wrath. Maybe even an announcement that they've been working on bringing back BC and Wrath. Maybe a potential, hey, it's going to be 4 years from now, 2 years from now, that we might be able to have something to show. But they could announce something just to get everybody excited and jazzed. It's super, super exciting to see what they're going to reveal on the stage. It better be good, and I think it is going to be good. But with how last year's BlizzCon went, a lot of people said it wasn't super amazing. This one has to smash it out of the park. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this leaks. What do you think looks credible? What do you think isn't? And I'll see all of you guys in another video.